Phantump is my favorite Pokemon. Between its adorable design, moderately creepy lore, and its shiny being one of my favorite in the game, I absolutely love it. If I could, it'd be the only Pokemon I would ever use, which got me thinking, can you beat Pokemon Shield while only using Shiny Phantump? I decided to give it a try and document the process along the way. It's worth noting the earliest you can get Phantump in Sword and Shield is Glimwood Tangle, but seeing as that's nearly halfway through the game, I decided to just transfer one in via Pokemon Home that I got back in Ultra Moon. The Phantump I'll be using has Natural Cure as its ability and is adamant by nature. And now, with all of that out of the way, my name is Serenix, and welcome to Pokemon Shield, but I can only use Shiny Phantump. Since this Phantump was only level 1 when I transferred it in, I started off by leveling it up to level 7, which is about what my starter would have been at this point in the game during a normal playthrough. Then it was time to finally start our journey by heading up to Professor Magnolia's house. Along the way, I took out all the trainers on the route, the first being youngster Jake. I simply used a combination of Confuse Ray and spamming Tackle to take out his Squovit and ruin his dreams. Although I could have skipped her, I opted to take on Last Lauren as well, just to gain a little extra experience that would help me out later on. She only has a level 6 Choodle, and by using Leech Seed and Branch Poke, I put her Choodle to rest rather quickly. Which brought us to youngster Benjamin. Once again, using Confuse Ray and Tackle, his Blipbug ended up defeating itself in its confusion, which was pretty sweet, while his Nickit went out after a few uses of Tackle. It was at this point Phantump grew to level 9. Now that all the trainers had been defeated, we made it to Magnolia's house, where we met the professor and engaged in a battle with Hop to earn our endorsement. I used the same combination of moves as I had been, opening with Confuse Ray and following up with Leech Seed. This allowed me to spam Tackle without the risk of taking too much damage while restoring a little HP every turn. Then it was time to do the same with Rookity. Phantump grew to level 10, and Hop was left with his Sobble, which I just spammed Branch Poke on since it's weak to grass, and we were able to take it out in 2 turns. Hop had been defeated, and it was time to get our Wishing Star, which Magnolia then used to create our Dynamax band. With the ability to Dynamax, we made our way to the wild area, where I decided to level up Phantump just a bit by battling some Crabble. I ended up getting Phantump to level 13 before heading on to Motostoke. But before heading off to the stadium, I felt it necessary to go shopping so I could rock my very own Shiny Phantump cosplay. With our new outfit, I made my way toward Motostoke Stadium, where I ran into Leon, who gave me a Miracle Seed, which is precisely why I chose Grookey at the beginning of the game. After that, I met up with Hop at the stadium, where I chose my uniform number, and were told to stay at the Budu Drop Inn. Although upon trying to get a room, we were met with the discount Mermaid Men who wanted to battle. I was a little worried since they primarily use Dark-type Pokemon, but by using Confuse Ray and spamming with Tackle once again, I was able to take out the first grunt without any issues. The second grunt was just as easy, as well as the double battle with Hop, where Phantump grew to level 14. After defeating Team Yell, it was time for the Gym Challenge ceremony, where we were introduced to all the gym leaders, including Mr. Swole himself. With the Gym Challenge ceremony over, it was time to make our way to the first gym. But before that, I of course had to take out Hop once again, using the same method as before. Wooloo was taken out rather quickly, as well as Hop's Rookity. However, I was met with my first loss against this Sobble, which kind of surprised me, given that I had the type advantage. But on my second attempt, I was able to take it out no problem, securing the victory. And with Hop defeated, I made my way to Route 3, where I decided to get Phantump to level 16 by defeating some Zigzagoon, although it wasn't really necessary. At this point, Phantump finally learned a new move in the form of Will-O-Wisp, which I replaced Tackle with. And although I didn't have to, I opted to take out some of the trainers on this route as well, starting with Last Ray. Her Vulpix took no time at all to take out, and I was ready to move on to the next trainer, Schoolgirl Hannah. I opened with Will-O-Wisp to cut its attack stat in half, and ended up taking it out with Leech Seed. Marvin's Budu was taken out using pretty much the same method as well as his Gossifleur, which brought us to Schoolboy Peter, where his Sizzlipede took out my Phantump. On my second attempt, I was able to take it out with Confusion, but was met with another loss, courtesy of his Dottler. The third attempt was successful, but this battle was now the roughest one so far at this point in the run. With that in mind, it was time for us to enter the mine. Unfortunately, I couldn't remember the exact way to go through here, so I ended up battling a trainer that I otherwise would have skipped, that trainer being Georgia. Her Timber were pretty easy to take out without causing me any issues whatsoever, and Phantump ended up growing to level 19 afterward. Continuing through the mine, I also battled the first required trainer, that being Sandra. She had Diglett, which was no match for Phantump, as well as her Drillbur, which again proved to be no match against Phantump. Once I made it to the end, I was met with Bede. This battle proved to be relatively difficult for me. Hatena ended up defeating Phantump, and it was off to the Pokemon Center to heal up my Pokemon and try again. The second time around, I lost to his Gothita due to confusion, but on my third attempt, upon defeating Solosis, Phantump grew to level 20 and learned Hex, which was super useful for the rest of the battle. I ended up one-shotting both Gothita and Hatena using this, securing the victory. With the first gym in sight, we exit the mine and make our way toward the stadium. I ended up accidentally battling a trainer on this route, but I was able to destroy their Electrike and Lotad with a single hit to each. We finally made it to the first gym, where I took out all the required trainers with very little effort, and it was time to go up against Milo. And this battle was definitely the most annoying one so far. Not because I wasn't using the right moves, not because he was one-shotting me, but because I'm an idiot and accidentally leveled up Phantump to level 21 while battling the gym trainers. This was a grave mistake, as this Phantump is from Usum and I'm not technically its original trainer. This was not a battle of me versus Milo, but rather a battle of me versus Phantump. It completely refused to listen to me half the time. I was able to take out Milo's Gossifleur, but his Eldegoss took out my Phantump immediately after, since I couldn't get an attack off. This went on for nearly an hour, until finally I got lucky enough for Phantump to obey, and I was able to take out Eldegoss with 2 uses of Hex, allowing us to defeat Milo and secure our first gym badge. This also meant Phantump would obey me again, and I made absolute sure to pay attention to its levels, as to not have a repeat of this later on. With our first gym badge, we make our way onto Route 5. I decided to skip all the trainers on this route, as I felt I was a bit over-leveled for this point in the game. And as I reached the bridge, Team Yell was once again causing some trouble. And speaking of trouble, these battles caused me a lot of it. First losing to Thievul on my first attempt, and Sableye on my second attempt. During those attempts, Phantump grew to level 24, which helped a bit with defeating Sableye. With the Team Yell Grunts defeated, we moved forward, only to be forced to battle Hop once again. I was able to take out most of his team without trouble, but just like before, his starter just had to ruin the fun, although I was able to defeat him on my second attempt, much like before. With Hop defeated once again, we were clear to enter Hulbury and take on the Water-type gym. To nobody's surprise, I flew through this gym and defeated all of the gym trainers by just spamming Magical Leaf, which Phantump had learned previously. I thought the same would go for the battle against Nessa, which was true against her Goldeen, where Phantump grew to level 27, but her Arrokuda ended up taking out Phantump. But on the second attempt, I was able to get my revenge against Arrokuda by taking it out with Magical Leaf, but Dreadnought was a different story. I lost against this thing twice, before Phantump grew to level 28 through beating Goldeen, which helped me defeat Dreadnought, allowing us to obtain our second gym badge. To celebrate, we had dinner with the chairman and made our way to the Galar mine number 2, where we had to take out Bede a second time. This time was different, as I was able to absolutely demolish his team and took him out on my first attempt. Phantump grew to level 29 upon defeating his Ponyta, and we continued making our way through the mine. I tried sneaking past Francis, but I was unsuccessful. I easily took out his team and moved on to battle Yvonne, who I also failed to sneak past. Her team consisted of Roggenrola and Timber, which I took out in less than 30 seconds. Continuing to make our way through the mine, Team Yell gets in the way again, and we team up with Hop for a double battle. Much like the rest of the trainers here, they gave me no issues whatsoever, and after that, I tried sneaking past Vincent, but failed once again. I guess third time isn't the charm. What I didn't fail at, though, was one-shotting both of his team members. Now that I made it to the end of the mine, we are met by Kabu, who I would learn to hate with all of my being. Upon returning to Motostoke, we make our way to the Budu Drop Inn, where Marnie is waiting for us. I like Marnie a lot as a character, but this battle definitely made me feel a bit sour toward her by the end of it. I was able to take out her Krogunk and Scraggy, but lost to her Morpeko. This thing took Phantump out a total of 10 times before I could finally defeat it. This was definitely the most difficult battle at this point in the run, and I thought losing to her 10 times was pretty bad, but it got much, much worse at the fire type gym. I figured this gym would give me a hard time since I had type advantage and I would definitely have to work for it, but I was able to take out all 5 of the gym Pokemon without losing once, and we were able to take on Kabu. And that's when my suffering truly began. I lost to this guy over and over and over again. It didn't matter what combination of moves I used, I could not beat this guy for the life of me. I tried EV training, leveling Phantump up by fighting trainers I had previously avoided. I got Phantump to level 39, and this guy still managed to absolutely destroy me. I also tried giving Phantump an item that would boost the attack power of ground-type moves, but it just wasn't enough. I could not beat this thing, and I couldn't level up Phantump anymore, otherwise it wouldn't listen to me again, and we'd have a repeat of what happened with Milo. After a literal 10 hours of trying to beat this guy, watching him trot across the field, I was on the verge of giving up until I finally resorted to something that some would consider absolutely disgusting. I had to use X items. I know what you're thinking. Oh, you're cheating. That's no fun if you use X items. But even with the X items, I still lost to this guy twice before I finally managed to defeat him and claim my 3rd gym badge. Yell at me in the comments all you want. I don't care. Dare I say it, this would have been impossible had I not resorted to using X items. After a terrible experience in the fire type gym, it was finally time to make our way to Hammerlock. But that's gonna be a journey for next time. In an effort to keep this video as short as possible, I'm splitting these up into multiple videos. I'll be releasing the second part of this sometime this week where we continue the journey to see if we can beat Pokemon Shield using only Shiny Phantump. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a like as it really helped me out. And if you really enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe as you're not gonna wanna miss the next part. I also do shiny hunting over on my Twitch channel every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So if you're into it, feel free to drop by. It's a good time, and I have a lot of fun over there. But with that, I have been Serenix. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and I wish you the best of luck in your shiny hunting endeavors. See you guys next time.